Robert S. Kelly, also known as R. Kelly, released his first commercial project, along with public announcement, in 1992 under Jive Records. 29 years has passed since his mainstream debut. During this 29-year period, R. Kelly has redefined the multi-billion-dollar industry known as the music industry, which is a key piece or a major branch in the world of entertainment. R. Kelly has went on to sell over 75 million records worldwide. He's the most successful R&B male artist of all time, pre-digital MP3 era, and one of the world's best-selling music artists. Billboard named him the top R&B/hip-hop artist between 1985 to 2010. And when it comes to R&B, he's considered the most successful artist in the genre's history. R. Kelly has won a total of 110 awards out of 274 nominations, including 3 Grammys, 2 American Music Awards, 19 BMI Awards, 11 Soul Train Awards, 6 NAACP Awards, 3 Vibe Awards, 2 Source Awards, and a shocking 1 BET Award. R. Kelly has contributed 17 studio albums, with 11 being certified platinum, 32 number 1 hits, 12 number 1 albums, 13 top 10 Billboard hits, 12 top 20 Billboard hits, and he is considered the top songwriter over the past 25 years, and has written, produced, arranged, and composed 90% of his own catalog, everybody. With this extraordinary resume in the music industry, major labels such as Jive, RCA, and Sony Entertainment has benefited significantly off the artistry of R. Kelly. In fact, throughout his career, at the time of any alleged scandal up until 2017, R. Kelly's current label at that time would be very supportive of R. Kelly. For example, on August 31st, 1994, R. Kelly allegedly marries protege and predicted superstar Aaliyah. In the midst of that alleged marriage, Jive Records showed or did no disciplinary actions against their artists. He was already a multi-platinum artist. With the solo success of the 1993's 12 Play, one must question if the success of 12 Play is the reason for Jive Records' support for R. Kelly. Plus, at the time, he had written and produced Aaliyah's debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, which was certified platinum not even a month later. In the near future, R. Kelly writes a Grammy-nominated number 1 hit titled You Are Not Alone for Michael Jackson, and his next self-titled album, R. Kelly, goes multi-platinum and featured 3 number 1 hits. During that time, Jive Records supported R. Kelly 100%. Now, fast forward to 2002, you have a videotape alleging to have R. Kelly on it sleeping with a minor. Not only that, bootleg copies of the tape are flooding around the streets all across the country. However, executives at Jive issue a statement saying, R. Kelly has been with Jive Records for 11 years, and we fully support him and his music. So, as y'all can see, you had the alleged marriage with Aaliyah. You had several people. I wouldn't say just several. That seems like a large number to me. It was really about maybe three people suing R. Kelly. But like I said, actually it was at that time it was two people that sued him at that time, which was Tiffany Hawkins and Tracy Sampson. Then that after the next tape came about, which is the tape that they indicted him on or whatever, Then you had like a couple other women come out trying to sue him. So once again, it was always after one of these alleged scandals or alleged allegations, whether it was the marriage to Aaliyah or whether it was the sex tapes. That's when people started coming out the woodwork trying to sue the man. Okay? In 2003, BMG acquired the remainder of Jive's parent company, which was Zomba, for $2.74 billion. The following year, in 2004, BMG merged with Sony Music Entertainment to form Sony BMG. Jive, along with Zomba Label Group, absorbed later on into the RCA Music Group. Then in 2008, Sony and BMG ended its merger, and because Sony bought out the BMG shares, that resulted in Jive and the BMG sisters, which was RCA and Arista. They became one whole unit under the newly enhanced Sony Music Entertainment. So you see, during that 6-year period, after R. Kelly was indicted, 6 years later to his acquittal, Sony was making power buyout moves and now was the label who owned the rights to R. Kelly's contract and the licenses to the majority of his catalog. The reason why we know that it was Sony that funded R. Kelly's defense, which in turn tells us that Sony Entertainment, with all the charges and the sexual allegations with underage minors, they supported R. Kelly not only personally, but also financially. So you see, R. Kelly, they say that he obstructed justice. They say that he paid people off and he did all this, he did all that. Well, he wouldn't have had the funding to do any of that, which I don't believe he did it, so don't get me twisted. He wouldn't have had the funding to do that, allegedly, if Sony would not have financed his defense. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So in October 2011, Sony then put an end to Jive, Arista, and J Records in order to refresh and rebrand RCA Records. Okay? So they're done with, they ended them Jones, them 3 labels, you know, because all of the labels are little branches underneath the Sony umbrella now. So they ended those 3, and they basically converted them all into one RCA Records to enhance it and to rebuild it, basically. During this time, they continued to promote, distribute, and finance R. Kelly's brand and his career by releasing his albums in the United States on RCA Records. However, evidence shows that they released R. Kelly's music, distributed R. Kelly's music, promoted R. Kelly's brand, supported and financed his career in the United Kingdom under their own brand and name, Sony Music Entertainment. TP3 Reloaded, Double Up, Untitled, Love Letter, Write Me Back, and Black Panties, all albums of R. Kelly, after the sex tape allegations, after all the rumors of R. Kelly sleeping with underage girls, after Sony gained ownership of Jive and RCA Records, Sony Entertainment did in fact distribute R. Kelly's music, promote R. Kelly's brand, promote R. Kelly's career, finance and support R. Kelly, and released all 6 of the R. Kelly albums mentioned under Sony Entertainment's brand in the US and overseas, therefore proving if anyone was running a criminal enterprise, it was Sony Entertainment. So you see, y'all, if anybody was running a criminal enterprise, it was the corporation Sony Music Entertainment itself. Okay? And it is clear that they supported him along with Jive Records and RCA Records. All those umbrellas supported this man's career up until 2017, and then magically they stopped. Okay? They simply, every time there was an allegation, they supported it. They never there was no dropping him from the label. There was none of that. Every time they simply disregarded it because you know why? Because the money was going ching 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 ching. You see what I'm saying? But now 2017 comes about. 2017 comes about, and now the money can go into his pocket eventually in 10 years from now, from 2017. Now the money can go in his pocket. He probably already put that notice in, like I said before. And now, instead, all the things that they supported him on back then, all the allegations they supported him on, now, not only are they not supporting him, but they are contributing to bringing these charges against him. Allegedly. So, do you see, y'all have to understand, I've been saying that this is big business corporation stuff, man. Big business corporation stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Cash is king in this world. And the bottom line is they have been doing this to artists since the beginning, especially African American artists. They have been using them their entire career, their entire life, using them for their talent, using them for their craft. And then the minute it's time for them to give what is rightfully the writer's property, and rightfully the writer rightfully owns this music, which is R. Kelly, everybody. Excuse me for not getting this out right. That's when they want to try to put scandals on them. They want to try to bring allegations on them. And it happened to Michael Jackson. It happened to Michael Jackson. You see what I'm saying? Michael Jackson owned half of Sony's publishing at the time of his death, everybody. Now let that sink in your brain. At the time of Michael Jackson's death, he owned half, 50% of the conglomerate Sony Entertainment's publishing. Not to mention, because he owned the catalog, once again, that had important artist copyrights in it, like the Beatles, Elvis Presley, and Little Richard, and it was so many more. He owned that. So Sony in turn worked out a deal with him, and the crazy motherfuckers, they ended up giving him half of their publishing because they were so busy trying to get the Beatles copyrights and the Beatles catalog that they made a mistake and gave Michael Jackson half of their catalog. You see what I'm saying? They made a mistake. And they was mad about it. And Michael Jackson told everybody that they're really angry at him. He said it. They're really angry at me. And not only that, Michael Jackson was on the verge of becoming the most powerful man in the entertainment business. He was on the verge of buying Marvel. You know, X-Men, Spider-Man, all those important, brands. He would have owned that as well as half of Sony's publishing. He would have been the most powerful man in the world, probably. At least one of them, at least in the entertainment industry. And he was a black man, an African-American man, an African descendant. And them people, they didn't want that, man. I hate to say it, but that's just the reality of the situation, everybody. It's the reality of the situation. Now, all these years, they have defended R. Kelly. They have financially supported R. Kelly. They have promoted R. Kelly's music. They've promoted his brand. They even went and tried to do it like in a sneaky way, thinking ain't nobody gonna know. They released his music in the United States under RCA Records, okay, which they own that label, by the way. So once again, it all falls back on Sony, no matter how you slice the pie, because they own RCA. They own Jive Records. They owned Arista Records. They owned J Records. They owned it all. The three major conglomerates in the music industry we all know is Sony Entertainment, is Universal Music Group, and it is Warner Brothers Entertainment, or Warner Brothers Music Group, however the fuck they call themselves nowadays. So we all have to wake up. This is big business corporation. And if anybody wants to say that they're trying to put a conspiracy on R. Kelly, no, the conspiracy is happening against R. Kelly. Like I said before, with these major labels conspiring against these artists for their rights and for their copyrights and for their masters and for their publishing and for their generational wealth. We got to wake up, people. We got to wake up. Don't tell me that all these years, all these rumors, all these allegations of these disgruntled employees, because we all know that they was disgruntled employees. I'm not going to mention no names right now. They was attacking R. Kelly, targeting R. Kelly, trying to put allegations on R. Kelly. And meanwhile, all these years, he had the major labels backing. 2017 comes because of Section 203 of the Copyright Act. Now R. Kelly can put in a notice to get the rights to his music back. And now all of a sudden, the label, you got Mute R. Kelly coming out. You got the parents coming out, like I said before. Now the label doesn't want to support R. Kelly. Now the label lets little pressure when you consider the conglomerate and the business that Sony Entertainment is, for them to let that little bit of pressure outside of their front door make them drop R. Kelly. But see, they really didn't drop R. Kelly, because see, they're really still making multiple millions of dollars off of R. Kelly. So I ask you, to the mute R. Kelly movement and the Time's Up movement, are you happy now? Are you happy that R. Kelly, you stopped R. Kelly from making money?
His kids.
You stopped his kids from receiving money. You stopped him from providing for his family, but yet you allowing Sony Entertainment to still make money off of his catalog, and Universal Music Group to make money off of some of his publishing. Are you happy about that? That's what I'm saying about us as African Americans. When are we going to wake up and go after the real enemies, the real corporates? They got us fighting each other all different types of ways, man. While they steal all the motherfucking money and the wealth and leave us with nothing at the bottom of the motherfucking food chain in America 400 years later, when we built this damn country. And they want a nerve to talk about some shit. We get reparations. I'm sorry. We should have been got some fucking reparations. Fuck wrong with you? I'm sorry for my language, everybody. I just got pissed off that quick, man.
Rightfully so.
I just got pissed off that quick.
That'll piss anybody off.
And I've been trying to watch my damn mouth on this damn channel, but that shit just pissed me the fuck off, man.
You get a pass on that. I'm pissed off too.
Shit. Don't tell me that y'all don't see the coincidence. Don't tell me that y'all don't see, once 2017 hit, the year that this man can put in the notice to that label to get the rights to his music back, then magically the Mute R. Kelly movement is formed in 2017. And magically these rumors of a sex cult is born in 2017, and the parents are going into the media. Who is putting these people in position to get press? How are they getting the press to go into the media, mainstream media, and basically slander somebody's character, a celebrity's character, a superstar's character, without bringing any proof? And you mean to tell me that a higher entity isn't behind that? Do y'all honestly think, are y'all honestly going to continue to ignore the obvious fucking reasonable doubt in the situation? The obvious reasonable doubt. You got convicted criminals after convicted criminals talking about this man, but y'all want to believe them as if they're credible. You got Michael Avenatti now, who is a convicted criminal, and y'all want to believe that he's credible. You got Kim Fox, who did not have reasonable indication to set up that hotline to get R. Kelly charged, but y'all want to believe that there's no reasonable doubt. You got women changing their stories left and right, up and down, around and around, and you mean to tell me that there's no reasonable doubt? All of this starting in 2017. But prior to 2017, these major labels, they supported R. Kelly financially and personally. Are y'all serious? But y'all want to tell me, y'all want to ignore that though. Y'all want to ignore all that though, right? Y'all want to ignore Section 203 of the Copyright Act, right? Y'all want to ignore that magically Michael Jackson and Prince, both of them died abruptly because of drugs. And we didn't hear about neither one of them having no drug problems prior to that. Neither one. But y'all want to ignore all that though, man. Y'all want to ignore all that. And I'm tired of people asking me or telling me that he married Aaliyah. How many times do I got to say it over and over? The marriage had no legal existence. And if you really want to get technical, if you really want to read what's going on here, he's not even being charged for the marriage or for a marriage against Aaliyah. What he's really being charged for, bribing a government official in order to get a fraudulent identification document to marry an underage girl. It's not saying that, oh, we're charging him because he married an underage girl. They're charging him because they're trying to say he bribed a government official. That's the one charge. Then they're trying to say in order to get a fraudulent identification document, which I already told y'all in the state of Illinois, that is a class 4 felony. That's the second charge. To marry an underage girl. That does not mean that he did marry an underage girl. That means that he intended to do it, not that he did it. But y'all want to keep on saying he married Aaliyah. He married Aaliyah. He married Aaliyah. He married Aaliyah. When Aaliyah said he never did, when he said he didn't, when the parents say he didn't. So I get it. All the other parents are credible. But when it comes to Aaliyah's parents and when it comes to Rashonda Landfair's parents, they're the only parents in this situation that aren't credible. They're the only parents that y'all don't believe. But all the other parents y'all believe. Man, y'all gotta be kidding, man. Y'all gotta be kidding, man. Y'all have, man, the mainstream media has tried every narrative in the book to throw on R. Kelly, man, to get him guilty in the court of public opinion. I mean, they've been pulling narratives out of their fucking ass, man. Excuse my language. Trying to get this man guilty in the court of public opinion. NDAs. They want to blame him for that too. They want to make NDAs a big deal too, right? But what they're not saying is all celebs, if not most celebs, and especially most corporations, do confidential settlements with NDAs to avoid a legal hassle and to save money and to save time and to prevent negative press on their career or against their corporation. But when it comes to R. Kelly, they want to make it seem like it's just the worst thing in the world to do a settlement. If you get in a car accident, you want to do a settlement, don't you? If you get in an accident, the insurance company is going to want to do a settlement with you, right? Instead of going to court, it's not a big deal. I mean, listen, man. Just because somebody does an NDA or a confidential settlement, that does not mean that the person is admitting guilt. It doesn't mean that. It's just saving time and saving the hassle. And let me be clear here. Just because the government is saying that R. Kelly bribed a government official for a fraudulent document, that does not mean that he did it. We already know that Demetrius Smith already admitted that he was the one that set up that fraudulent document or that got that fake certificate or whatever the fuck that nigga said. We know he's the one that did that shit, not R. Kelly. We got to stop putting all these narratives on R. Kelly, and we got to stop ignoring the fact that the man wanted his master's in 2017. He's able to put a notice in. That way, 10 years later, 2027, they have to give him back his masters. And now here it is. Instead of supporting him like they've done all his career, when the money was booming, when business was booming, and and everything was all good, and he didn't have no legal leverage to get his music back. See, now he has legal leverage where they have to give him back his masters. We have to stop ignoring that. This is not about no R. Kelly sleeping with underage girls. That has not been proven. The man went to court in 2008 and he was acquitted. And they so desperate with it, they want his master so bad that the federal government is willing to basically do double fucking jeopardy on this dude. They can slice it how they want to slice it. They can word it how they want to word it. Say, oh, because it's federal. It's the charge is named different. It's double fucking jeopardy. Period. They using the same evidence in 2008. It's double jeopardy. Period. Tired of these, man. Tired of these labels, man. Conspiring. They're conspiring against these artists. They work like a dog all their life, man. No, it starts out when they're young. It starts out just having a dream, man. Just wanting to do something. Just wanting to be an artist. Wanting to do music. The love of music. They make it in the game thinking that their life about to change. And it does a little bit. But ain't nothing free in this world. Remember that. And they conspiring against these dudes, man. After they done used them up. They done used this man R. Kelly up for 30 years. Used them. Not just Sony. Not just RCA. Not just Jive Records. Not just Universal. The whole entire music industry. Artists included. And you got these same artists, after they didn't use this man for his talent, they so quick to turn on him because they scared that somebody gonna come mess with their career. I don't believe in being a coward, man. I don't believe in being a coward. Never was. And on that note, man, it's time to free R. Kelly. Not today, but tomorrow. Matter of fact, not tomorrow, but last week. Matter of fact, not last week, but last year. Free that man. Shit.